Hi guys, welcome again to Tita Fitness. Chloe here.
Hello.
So like we told you last week, we are going to do a posing video. She's going to take me through the posing tricks. Is it the tricks? How do you call them?
Angles, tricks. Yeah, that works.
Okay, so I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch this video. Again, if you're new here, please subscribe to Tita Fitness. Check out Chloe G8.
Yes, _G8.
_G8 on Instagram. Did you get a YouTube feed?
No, not yet.
Okay, so we are still working on the YouTube channel. So I'm going to get she has a lot of knowledge in fitness, a lot of experience in gymnastics.
Yep. So
yeah, you have a lot to offer and you have to show us.
All right, I will.
So I'm so excited. Here, get me started.
Okay, so we're gonna go over bodybuilding poses specifically for the men's categories, and there are 3 men's categories. I'm gonna show you a little bit of mobility that's gonna help you with different angles, and then also, if you want to, we can do even a pump up as well.
Okay.
Kind of get the veins going, get kind of nice and big. Up to you though, if you want to do a pump up.
For me, I think like, let's say today, my audience is my stage.
Okay.
So I'm at the backstage. How do you get started?
Perfect, I like that. That works.
Yes.
So
I know we don't have like is it the coloring that they do for like someone?
Oh yes, so that also does add to it when it comes to posing the tan.
Yeah.
And then also they're gonna baby oil you up in the back before you get on stage too. Okay. So you're nice and shiny. You already got a tan, so I think you're fine. And then oftentimes in backstage for the pump up, we just use bands. There's a lot of shows that dumbbells are not allowed backstage. So we use a lot of the like stretchy bands, or when you're about to walk on stage, you're just doing a lot of this. A lot of squeezing, pumping yourself up, delts. You might do some lunges to get the legs pumped up, kind of whatever you can to get blood flow going. So
today, which exercise should we do like to kind of like get the pump? Because I feel like I just came from a personal training session. I haven't done any kind of workout since morning, so.
I'm going to start with some bicep curls. So pretend like you're doing a bicep curl and try to get as much tension in your biceps as you can. Squeezing them.
So.
Yes, perfect. Yep. And then let's do some triceps as well. So do some tricep kickbacks and trying to hold the tension in the triceps as well. Yep, squeeze in there. Perfect, good squeeze. Good, just getting blood filled up into the muscles. And then let's do some lateral raises, but we're gonna do bent arm lateral raises to really emphasize the delts. So go ahead and go here with them. Yep, and then trying to squeeze that muscle at the top. Yep, that's it. Perfect. Good. So those are a couple you would do once you're about to walk on stage and you gotta throw the bands down and you're just kind of waiting to go up. Otherwise, there's plenty of time you're in the back and you have your stretchy exercise band that you're doing all kinds of things with. You can do, triceps. We can do some squats for legs, or we can do some lunges for legs.
To do them?
Let's do a couple, might as well.
So.
Yep.
Is it more like just a reverse lunge or like a courtesy lunge?
It's up to you. So we can go narrow, we can go wide, we can do that curtsy lunge if you want to involve a little more glutes.
Like the leg muscle from all the sides.
Yes, just as long as you're connecting your brain to those muscles and getting the blood flowing in there. It's really whatever you need to do to get a pump. And this is something we'll even practice and do like a little mock run through too before you actually step on stage.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're not going in blindside. Yep.
Action.
Yep.
These ones. So I'm excited to do this because this year I wanted to do a show, but I ended up not doing it. So I'm just doing the show for the audience.
Yeah, that works.
You guys
It's perfect.
Are the judges, let me know out of 10 where you're going to rate me.
Okay. So there are 3 different bodybuilding categories. So there's men's physique, that's your board shorts. You would wear something like this or like swim trunks,
so this
kind
is
of.
men's physique?
Yes, men's physique. There's classic physique. They have these smaller little, almost like bikini bottom shorts. And then there's open bodybuilding. And those are the big, huge guys, and they got the little tiny bikini bottoms on basically.
Okay.
So Classic physique and bodybuilding have very similar poses. The men's physique is going to kind of have their own set of poses.
Okay. So what do they look at, especially when it comes to men's physique? Like, what do they look at?
Men's physique, because you're in the board shorts, the legs don't matter as much. They still want you to see a little bit of definition as they peek out, and you still obviously want to do legs. You don't want to skip them, but it's mostly about big, broad shoulders, that V taper, so big shoulders, big lats coming into a very narrow waist. And so it's a lot of twisting and making yourself look big, and then angling to have a teeny tiny waist and those shredded abs.
Yeah. So if you were my trainer and I want to do like a bodybuilding competition, which class would you put me in? Like with my physique right now, like,
for first timers, it's always awesome to have them start with the men's physique with the board shorts, just to get comfortable being on stage. But for the most part, throughout your whole bulk and prep, you've probably built up enough leg muscles that we can do classic physique or men's physique. So I also like to tell people to try both. And there's no qualifications to anything. You could have never even stepped foot in a gym and sign up for a bodybuilding show and just do it. And you could do any category you wanted. So I think you would do awesome in the classic physique because you do have great leg muscles, the abs, the shoulders.
Thank you.
But just as starting out, it's always nice to
start with the men's physique.
Yes, and they also have simpler poses. There's only like 2 poses for men's physique, and then the other 2 have an array of poses we could go over.
So today, which one are you going to post me on? Is it the men's physique or classic physique?
I was going to show you, so there's 2 for men's physique. I was going to show you those, and then pick out a couple of the most fun poses to do for classic physique. Okay.
And my question is, maybe we have someone who's interested to know like which categories have you competed?
For women, there are 5 categories, and I've made a point to compete in all of them.
All of them?
Yes,
oh, wow.
Which is very rare. Most people do not do that. You typically have your category that works for your body shape, your physique, and kind of just genetically how you put muscle on. But because I am a coach, I want to know what they all feel like, how the preps are different for each, how we're building different muscles for each category. And then also by doing that, I've learned how to pose women in every category because there's different poses for each of the women as well.
And this is a question that I get from time to time. If someone is interested to join the bodybuilding competitions, do you think like having the muscle definition or like the physique that is going to go like on stage, is it contributed mostly with the genetics or is it more like the work that you put in?
A little bit of both, and a great question, a question I get often too. If you want to go far in the sport, genetics are going to be huge. I do love and support and recommend everybody try a bodybuilding show. Anybody can do it, and the confidence you get and the things you learn by putting yourself through something like that is incredible, and it's so cool to watch other people go through it and come out on the other end. So you do learn a lot. It is an amazing sport. You learn a lot about food and lifting, especially for a first timer. But then if you want to go pro, that's definitely going to take a lot of genetics. And then also at the point where you turn pro, that's where a lot of people start to jump on gear. But it's actually getting more common, especially in Oregon, that there are natural shows, so drug tested shows.
Oh wow, that's amazing. So talking about gear, I know like it's a topic which is outside there, like or people sometimes try to confuse, like, you know, have you ever been in a situation where you ended up competing with people who are like on the gear and you're natural and all that?
Definitely.
And how was it for you?
It's difficult. My goal personally is that I beat my last physique every time I step on stage. So as long as I made the corrections and it improved myself, that makes me happy. But I've stood on stage every time against other women who are much bigger and definitely on gear. And it's a little like, oh, well, they definitely won. And I'm not against it. I train people who are on gear and people who are off gear.
Yeah.
I personally am a natural competitor and plan on continuing to be a natural competitor.
Yeah.
So I do plan on going pro in either figure or women's physique.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's kind of, all right, do I jump on something or continue and hopefully the natural shows grow and I can continue to go on that route.
That's awesome. That's really good. And before maybe we do the posting, I have a few questions again to ask. Especially with you, I know like most of the people when they see your pictures, they're like, is this Chloe? The one that I know? What makes you different from like when you're on stage and like really life? Because I know when you start posing and all that and showing the muscle,
it's different. I totally agree.
Yeah.
There's definitely the difference between when I'm bulking and when I'm cutting. I feel like I hold on to my shape pretty well even when I'm a little thicker and eating all this food and not doing cardio. But then also when I'm shredded and lean and posing, it does kind of make a difference. And I'm eating different foods, I'm doing different things in my workouts. And then usually too, if I have a t-shirt on, you can't really tell either. So it's definitely a little different.
And another thing is, my second question was like, a lot of people wonder, do you stay, once you compete, do you stay in that same body weight? I mean like with low fat in your body, like the whole time, or do you have a specific time when you are going to compete? That's when you bring your body fat percentage down, and when you are not doing anything, you're just getting to normal. Like
exactly, yeah. That's actually a really good question to address because a lot of people, that's the lowest and maybe the best they've ever looked, lowest body fat, and it's not healthy to stay that lean. And some people genetically, they hold on to very low body fat and that's okay. But that peak week that I kind of mentioned a little bit in the last video where we do a bunch of magic tricks to make you look as thin and shredded as possible, that is just for that week. And then afterwards, we slowly put muscle or weights back on in a healthy way, and we do what's called a reverse diet. So in your diet, in your peak week, you're maybe lower on carbs and food, and then we have to reverse diet after the stage. And instead of, a lot of people want to throw in the pizza, throw in the sugar, and that's gonna really hurt your body. To just rebound it like that. So we do a reverse diet where we slowly add in the carbs, slowly maybe add in dairy because we'll take dairy out a couple months before. So yes, that's really good to address, is you do not stay like that forever. You do need to put on a healthy amount of body weight to feel good again, make sure our hormones are good, our brain, our joints.
Oh, do you drink water when you're going on stage, or do you stop drinking water? Because that's something that I see sometimes.
So that's actually, I want to say that's the hardest part about the prep. Of course, your cravings are high and you want food and whatnot. During the whole thing, you are constantly drinking water. I would say about 1 gallon a day. And then a couple weeks before you step on stage, we water load to about 2 gallons. And then, and then during peak week, that's part of the kind of the magic we do, is you get less and less in water each day. And so that's where my eyes are on you. I'm making sure you're safe and healthy and that you're feeling okay. We take salt out usually. We'll kind of play with the...
Why do you take salt out?
Salt holds on to the water, and the point of lessening the water is to shrink wrap your skin to your muscles. That's what makes everything pop and that shredded look.
You guys see the tricks?
Yes, these are the little tricks we do.
Actually need someone like a trainer to get you started, instead of saying like, I'm going to do this and just show up.
It's doable, but it makes me nervous for people to do that. And I want everyone to do it in the healthiest way possible, and I know lessening your water isn't super healthy for you, and also taking salt out, because salt will make you hold on to water. That's also not necessarily healthy. I never tell people to take salt out of their diet ever. So that's just where I want to make sure, like, I'm with you, I'm holding your hand, you can text me anytime, and I'm like, you're fine, you're gonna make it, we're good. All those little things.
So I'm sure like I've asked a lot of questions that maybe members or like the people who are watching this video were going to ask. My last question is, what is the most difficult challenge that you face when you're preparing for like getting to stage? Is there something that you maybe cravings and all that, which is the most challenge that you face?
Besides the water part, because at some point you're gonna feel so insanely thirsty and you cannot drink the water. Besides that, it's kind of the social aspect. And I try really hard, you know, to still go to the movies and go to events and maybe even go to the bars with my friends, but you cannot be drinking alcohol. Cravings at night are usually super high, and that's often when social gatherings are. And so some days there's just times where I have to tell my friends, and they understand, they've watched me go through it enough that I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I'm not in a good mood. My cravings are so high that if I go out tonight, there's a good chance I might give in. And so there's just a healthy amount of still enjoying social events and not surrounding it by food and just kind of being there with your friends and family, but also listening to your body and what you need, especially during such a taxing time.
Oh wow, that's amazing. So I'm ready.
Okay.
You will give us more information about the people who would be interested. Maybe even if it's just coaching them online, or just giving them ideas on how they can get themselves ready and all that, how they can find you and all that. Please give us that information when we are almost done, just in case if I forget.
Okay, so, sounds good.
Get me started.
So first we're gonna start with the men's physique poses, and there are just 2 of them. So you have your front pose and then your back pose. The front pose, we're gonna start, you want your hips to the side, 1 foot is out, and this is where you wanna bring your shoulders up into the front, trying to keep your hips kind of at a diagonal while sucking in. Big shoulders. This arm is on your hip, and we've got this arm out to this side. Let's switch arms. Yep, so this arm is gonna be on your hip.
Okay, this one on my hip.
And then that one, turn to the front a little more. Good, good.
So tell me all the muscles that I should be...
Try to suck in here and then even have your hips that way a little bit more. There, not bad, good. More shoulders to the front. Yep. Right there. Good, nice. And then try to relax your hand. You want relaxed hand. Yes, yeah, good. A little bit there. Not bad. And then fist on that hip. Make a fist there. Not bad, that's good. Can you spread your legs a little bit more? A little wider? Good, good. And then almost trying to pull this lat out if you can too. Yeah, trying to make it pop, trying to pull. Good, not bad. Okay. Perfect. So that's your front pose. The back pose, yes. And that's also kind of the hardest part too, is holding your poses for a long time. You also want to try to breathe through your chest so that you're not
holding your pose.
It depends. So when you're practicing, I would set a timer for like 30 seconds to a minute. Some people, some of the judges on when you're competing are really good about next pose, next pose, next pose. There's times where I've competed and I'm holding for so long. So yeah, it just depends.
I can feel my abs already.
Yes, and it's actually, it's a workout to hold your poses just like you would do a plank. It's the same thing because you're squeezing legs, squeezing abs here. And so it's as if you were doing a plank. It helps fill your muscles with blood and helps grow muscles.
Okay, next.
Back pose. So you're going to do basically a lat spread, like one of these, but arms are going to be to the side. Pretty good.
My legs.
That's good. So you almost want your chest up and you want your spine as tall as possible. That looks great, actually. Good. Can you pop this lat out a little bit more? Hey, that looks pretty good. And I'm gonna bring your arms in just to about here. Nice, that's it. Great. Yeah, that one's a little easier, but you wanna be as tall in your chest as possible and that spine as elongated because that'll bring the waist in. And then again, this waist up into this V taper. That's what we're looking for, is the V taper.
So you have to bring your lat.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. So that's it. That's men's physique.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wanna do the same poses that I did, the first one?
The first one. So we got
First one.
here.
So guys, we are going to see if I got it correct. Nice.
There. And then the back pose, we're here or here.
Perfect.
Yep.
Nice.
And not every pose is exactly set in stone. You have your mandatory poses, but everyone's body is unique. So I'll have you angled a little bit differently. Sometimes people will step back in that back pose if it helps them look a little bigger. So everything is similar and slightly different depending on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more like the individual. We come down to like which one works for you guys.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So those are the only two for men's physique. The classic physique are all the really fun poses. So your front double bi.
Like maybe 3 or 4 fun poses.
Okay, perfect. Let's do we'll do front double bi, side chest, and then maybe we'll decide on the third one.
Okay.
So front double bi, you want foot to the front and you want to think like you're trying to push a piece of paper out from under your foot. That's going to give you that quad separation to the front there. So quads are squeezed. Yep. Arms, they come up, and then you got to bring your lats out at the same time. Here.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Angle this foot out. You want to be kind of knees at a diagonal.
So calves kind of short.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you want this inner thigh split as well. Yep. Ooh. So here, arms up and then down, and you want to bring your elbows underneath, and that'll help bring the lats out. Good. That was good. And again, really high chest and really tiny waist. Try to suck in. That's great. Ooh. Nice. Good. Perfect.
That's intense.
All right.
I'm going to watch the video too for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them all.
I'm doing this one for you.
Yeah, it's looking good though.
Yes.
All right, let's do side chest because that one's really fun. For men, you're going to be to the side, one toe up and bent slightly. Again, you want this kind of hamstring, quad, split, calves, and squeezing glutes too.
Okay.
And then hands are clasped, and you want to bring it up and kind of over.
So stay here.
Yep, and then turn. Yes, perfect. Yep, squeeze the chest together.
Ooh. Biceps.
Yes, squeeze biceps, squeeze shoulders, and yeah. All right, I like it, good. And then little waist again too. And trying to breathe through your chest so that your stomach isn't breathing. It's really shallow chest breaths. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What makes most of the people, because I see like people have like a small, tiny stomach when they're posing. How do you practice to kind of like take your stomach all the way inside? Because sometimes I see someone taking their abs all the way in.
Yes, that vacuum.
Yes.
So I got a few different tips and exercises for the vacuum. The vacuum is very hard to do. Not a lot of people, a lot of the pros can. Yes.
All the way in.
Yep. So it's easiest to practice in the morning on a very empty stomach. Okay. And you want to kind of let all of your air go. So as far out as you can, all of your air, and then suck in up into your ribs, basically, up into that diaphragm. Yep, belly button's pulled back, and eventually it trains your diaphragm and your organs and your abs to suck in that flat vacuum position. So I would practice in the mornings on an empty stomach. You can even be over a counter, and that'll help suck in and train the abs, or you can lie flat on your back, and that also kind of helps the gravity push that diaphragm and those ab muscles in there.
I'm going to try that for next year, guys.
Yeah.
We have to do this kind of video again next year.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to do it.
I don't have like big biceps. What's our last?
So I was going to give you the option if you want to do a tricep or an abdominal quad. So
I want to do something with my back.
Okay. So we can do just a back double bi or a lat spread. So the back double bi is the same thing as the front double bi. This leg just goes to the back this way, or there's just your standard lat spread.
The standard.
Okay.
So do I keep my hands here?
Yeah.
Where do I keep my
thumbs here and kind of pulling on that skin. You almost want to bring your, shoulder blades down and trying to sweep them out. Almost this one's struggling. But it looks good.
Ooh.
Good. Go and relax and try it again. Good. They just want to disappear. But they look good. They hold and then they come back in. Good. Pull there. Forwards. Good. Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so when you practice that, you really want to practice sweeping them out. Shoulders down, lats come forward.
How do you get, because I see like people have crazy, insane lats coming out, and that's something like, as much as I have it, it's like a small thing, and I don't feel it when like I'm trying to flex.
Okay, yeah.
So how do you get like those big lats? I know like I do lat pull downs and all that.
Yeah, lat pull downs, really trying to connect your mind to that muscle and specifically feel it. I didn't get the lat spread right away. I definitely had to go home and try. And my right one would always get stuck as well. So I'd have one lat out and this one's like struggling. So what helped me is using the foam roller and foam rolling my lats so that they're already full of blood and I can feel that specific muscle. And then try to do it. And then also poking them too. I don't know if you've tried that with your clients before where you're like, do you feel this muscle?
Yes.
And that helps them connect to the muscles.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to touch you. We are going to concentrate on this muscle so that they can now, the mind grows.
They're like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to feel. Yes.
So, again, give us more details about how you can help someone who is maybe looking forward and how they can find you.
Okay. So
Camera here.
Mostly just Instagram right now. I am getting a YouTube here soon. I'm gonna start doing some tips and tricks, probably on TikTok as well, but that'll come later. I am mostly just on Instagram, Chloe_G8, or even Facebook, Chloe Gillette. Or you can find me at Superior Athletic Club and come in for just posing sessions. You can come and sit down and talk to me about nutrition, what it looks like to even go into a prep or step on stage. Gosh, I'm certified in flexibility and mobility and stretching. Or if you just want to get in a workout with me, we can do 30 minutes, 60 minutes, call in, online. Those are pretty much it for now.
Awesome, we're also waiting for the online training.
Yes, and the online is also coming soon.
I really appreciate to kind of introduce it to most of the people who've been interested to get keep in touch with you. And one more thing, I'm trying to push her to come out of her comfort zone. She doesn't really
That's how we're getting there with all
like
this.
the camera, but she's warming up, you know. So I would really appreciate like you to kind of start doing content and all that because I know like you have so much to offer. And then maybe we can collab together sometime.
Yes, follow me. I'll be getting videos out there soon. Stretching stuff, lymphatic drainage, specific movements as well.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you, Atita. That was great.
It was great. I can't wait to watch this video. Again, guys, just keep in touch. Follow, subscribe to Atita Fitness, and I will introduce Chloe's YouTube channel when she starts. I don't know. Maybe
I'll get that going this week.
So once she's ready, I'm going to introduce it to you guys. So
Great.
bye-bye.
Thank you.